Even though the iPhone 14 is coming, Apple will want to make the most of the holiday shopping season. Rumors say there will be 4 new models of the iPhone 14, including a high-end model without a notch and one with a 6.7-inch screen and a $900 price tag. Most of the time, people can get their hands on new iPhones in the fall. The iPhone 14 will be shown off at an Apple event on September 7th, and people will be able to buy it starting on September 16th. This is when Apple announced the iPhone 13 and began sending out units. What the iPhone 14 has. iOS 16 is likely to come out at the same time as the iPhone 14. These images are just ideas, but they show what the iPhone 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Max might look like if they're running iOS 16. Speculation and information from inside the company suggests that we might see a front that looks very different from the fronts of the iPhones that are on the market right now. The speaker grill is the same size as the one on the iPhone 13, and the camera and sensor cutouts are in the shape of pills. Extremely fine bezels. The volume controls will be the same as the ones on the iPhone 13. A body with a flat frame just like the iPhone 13. The Pro models are the only one with the A16 processor. A front camera upgrade to autofocus versus fixed focus. A SIM tray instead of a digital SIM. The Wall Street Journal says that this phone could have an extra feature that would automatically call 911 when a car accident is detected. It looks like Apple wants to add this feature to the iPhone and Apple Watch in the year 2022. Using data from sensors built into Apple devices, crash detection can find car accidents as they happen. One of these sensors is an accelerometer, which is used to measure sudden jumps in gravity forces, or G, that happen when an object or person hits something. Ming-Chi Kuo thinks that there will be 4 sizes, but unlike in previous years, there are more and more rumors that the Mini model won't be available. Instead, rumors say that Apple is working on putting out the following: the Apple iPhone 14 Pro Max, the Apple iPhone 14 Max, the Apple iPhone 14 Pro, and Apple iPhone 14. We think the growth drivers for the new iPhones that will be released in the second half of 2019 will be 1. The possibility of under-display fingerprint support using Apple's own technology. 2. The lowest price tag ever for a large 6.7-inch iPhone, which we expect to be less than $900 US. And 3. An upgrade to a wide camera of 48 megapixels for high-end models. Later in September 2021, Kuo updated his original prediction by saying that Apple won't have Touch ID built into the screen until 2023. There are rumors that Apple has stopped working on a version of Touch ID that works under the screen, but it's possible that it will be in the iPhone 15. Time will decide how things turn out. 9to5Mac reported that at the start of 2021, Kuo thinks the iPhone 14's display will have a punch hole design. At this point, we don't know if this will happen to all 4 models, but he says that at least the more expensive Pro models will. Recent renders of the iPhone, which are based on leaks that Front Page Tech found, show a screen with no notch. But there are rumors that Apple will wait a year. If that happens, the iPhone 15 would be the first iPhone without a notch. The render from 91 Mobiles that was shown earlier seems to point in this direction. Some renders, like the one made by 91 Mobiles, show the iPhone 14 with round volume buttons, while others, like the one they made, don't. If these controls were round, it would be different from how the iPhone 12 is made, which is long and square. We have also heard that support is being shown for satellite communication. Details about the iPhone 14 and its parts. Since the iPhone 13 was the first iPhone to offer 1TB models, it is likely that Apple will continue to offer this option for the iPhone 14. We might even have options with 2TB of space, but you shouldn't expect to see those for a few more years. It's also possible that iPhone will lose all of its ports this year. Most likely, we'll be able to get a fully wireless iPhone at some point in the future, and it could start with the iPhone 14. Whether or not this is what the majority of people want is a different question. Still, the renders we've seen so far show that the Lightning connector is at the bottom of the device, just like on other iPhones. So it's not likely that this will happen, assuming the renders are accurate. About the middle of 2022, the European Commission said that USB-C would have to become the standard port for smartphones. This is an interesting fact about ports. The rule won't take effect until the fall of 2024, so this won't have to be a requirement for the iPhone 14, but it might be for any future iPhone if they want to get ahead of the rule and start making USB-C phones. Either that, or it will keep going without stopping at any ports. To put it another way, the iPhone 14 may be the first iPhone that doesn't have a physical charge port at all. This would make it either the last iPhone with a Lightning connector or the first iPhone without any kind of connector. There hasn't been any official word on how this iPhone will look, but it's likely it will be very similar to the models that are already on the market in most ways. We've heard that the most expensive models will have a chassis made of titanium alloy as well as a screen with holes. This is not one of them. Mac Rumors says that the 4nm process will be used to make the A16 Bionic chip that will be in the iPhone 14 Pro models. For comparison, the iPhone 13 uses the same 5nm manufacturing process and A15 Bionic chip as its predecessor, the iPhone 12. TSMC, which makes chips with Apple, says that 4nm N4P is a performance-focused improvement to the 5nm technology platform. This will give Apple multiple and compelling choices for its product in terms of power, performance, space, and cost, as TSMC put it. It's likely this iPhone will also be able to connect to Wi-Fi 6E. A frequent leaker with the Twitter handle @ShrimpApplePro says how much battery capacity each iPhone 14 model has, but adds that the information is not confirmed. The iPhone 14 Max has 3,279 mAh or 4,325 mAh. The iPhone 14 Pro has a battery capacity of 3,200 mAh, while the iPhone 14 Pro Max has a capacity of 4,323 mAh. A source that 9to5Mac found said that the iPhone 14 could come in a number of colors such as green, purple, blue, black, white, and red. Ian Zelbo, a 3D artist, made a model of the colors that were stolen. The same source says that MagSafe is going to change, and that these changes will make magnets stronger than they were before. MagSafe is a feature added to the iPhone 12 that lets you charge it wirelessly and connect it to a variety of accessories. Also, it's likely that the day, date, and widgets based on apps will be included in the iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 14 Pro Max. This is not the case with the standard iPhone 14. When iOS 16 came out in June, it gave us an idea of what to look forward to in the future. It should come out in the fall of this year. When it does, all iPhones that can use it will be able to show new widgets on the lock screen. But the iPhone 14 Pro will be able to do more. The same widgets should be available at all times whether or not the screen is on. The same is likely to be true for notifications, and owners of the iPhone 14 Pro will be able to see at a glance what's going on, which really excites Lally. I think notifications will grow in popularity. We've already seen how Apple is changing the way notifications are delivered on iOS 16, he said. I'm willing to bet that the count option will become the default for the always-on screen mode at some point. That's all from our side. Thanks for watching. See you next time.